You don't remember the exact moment it started, just the heavy, rhythmic thudding echoing through the total darkness. It is a steady heartbeat, wrapping around you like a thick blanket. There is no cold here, no hunger, just the scent of damp earth and milk. You are completely blind, but you feel safe. The darkness is your entire universe. Soft, warm breath washes over your tiny, trembling body. A rough, gentle tongue cleans your fur. You press closer to the heat source, nuzzling instinctively into the thick, white coat. You are not alone. Tiny bodies squirm against you, a tangle of blind siblings seeking the same warmth. Every push, every soft whimper is a language only you understand. Time is measured only by the swelling of your belly and the heavy sighs of the giant guardian watching over you. Her scent is etched into your developing brain forever. Outside, a faint howling pierces the earth. It is a mournful sound, carrying the chill of a world you have yet to see. But down here, you just sleep. Slowly, the darkness begins to crack. Blurry shapes emerge from the shadows. The warm void shatters as a sliver of pale, icy light filters down from the tunnel above. Your eyes focus on her for the first time. The great white mother. Her coat is scarred, her amber eyes carrying the weight of 1,000 harsh winters. Curiosity pulls you away from the pile of siblings. Your paws are clumsy, slipping on the damp dirt floor as you drag your tiny frame toward that mesmerizing light. The air suddenly shifts. The damp, earthy smell vanishes, replaced by a sharp, biting scent that stings your nose. It is the scent of frost, of pine, of the wild. You push your nose past the rocky overhang. Instantly, an unforgiving wind slaps your face. The temperature drops, and the safety of the dark void is gone forever. The world is blindingly white and infinitely huge. There are no walls, no soft boundaries, just an endless expanse of snow, ice, and a sky that stretches on forever. Fear grips your small chest. Your fragile paws sink deep into the freezing powder. The bitter cold seeps through your thin puppy fur, making your entire body shiver violently. Just as the panic sets in, a massive shadow blocks the biting wind. The mother steps over you, a protective fortress of fur and muscle against the raging blizzard. Through the swirling snow, ghostly figures appear. The pack. They raise their heads to the turbulent sky, and suddenly the air vibrates with a haunting, unified chorus of howls. Caught in the powerful rhythm of their voices, you tilt your tiny head back too. A small, squeaky whine escapes your throat. It is pathetic, but it is yours. When the darkness falls, the cold becomes a physical weight. The pack circles tightly, creating a fortress of thick fur and shared blood. You sleep buried in their heartbeat. Hunger is the sharpest teacher. The storm breaks, leaving behind a world of blinding white. Your nose hits the icy crust, decoding the invisible trails left by wandering hooves. You follow the adults, silent ghosts moving in perfect single file along the jagged ridges. There is no playfulness now. Survival requires absolute discipline and unbroken focus. Then, you see it. A shadow larger than anything you have ever known. A moving mountain of thick fur and deadly horns. Your heart hammers against your ribs. The silence shatters. The pack explodes into motion. You run, paws tearing into the icy crust. The world blurs into a chaotic rush of white snow and pumping adrenaline. You are too small to bring down the giant, but you share the victory. The mother drops a piece of steaming red life onto the snow. It tastes like survival. Seasons bleed into one another. The soft, fluffy coat of your infancy falls away in clumps, carried off by the mountain wind. Beneath it, a thick, muscular frame emerges. You are no longer a follower. You stand under a sky ablaze with dancing green fire. The cold no longer hurts you. You have become a part of it. This is your prime. Your body is an unstoppable machine of muscle and bone. You glide over the deep snow without sinking, a white phantom under the emerald lights. Your senses are razor sharp. You can hear a lemming burrowing deep beneath the ice. You can smell a caribou herd miles away on the shifting wind. You are perfect. You no longer hide in the shadows of the elders. Now you lead the charge. You do not fear the giant horns. You meet them with raw, brutal force. When the dust settles, the pack steps back. They lower their heads, waiting. You eat first. You have earned the scars on your snout. You are the alpha. You stand at the edge of the highest cliff. Below you stretches a kingdom of ice and shadows. Every scent, every whisper of the wind belongs to you. You throw your head back and sing to the dancing lights. Your voice is no longer a squeak in the storm. It is the storm itself. It is absolute perfection. The earth spins. Seasons bleed into one another. How many winters have passed? The ice melts, then freezes again. Time is a thief, slowly stealing the fire from your blood. The majestic leaps become heavy steps. There is a deep, persistent ache in your bones that the sun cannot warm. The snow feels thicker now, dragging at your pores. The world loses its sharp edges. The vibrant emerald of the night sky softens into a cloudy blur. Your amber eyes, once terrifying, are now veiled with milky fog. You watch the young ones run. They are fast, reckless, beautiful. You see your past in their powerful strides. You step aside, yielding the front of the line. There is no anger in this surrender. It is the law of the wild. You drift to the back of the pack, a silent guardian trailing behind the strong. But survival does not wait for the weary. The blizzards return, more brutal than before. Every breath is a battle against the freezing air, scraping your scarred lungs. A scent hits the wind. The pack surges forward, a white wave of muscle. You try to follow, but your legs betray you. The distance between you grows. For the first time in your life, you are truly alone in the white expanse. The howling of your family echoes, slowly fading over the jagged, icy ridges. You rest your heavy chin on the cold earth. The hunger is dull now, replaced by a strange peace. You have lived 1,000 lifetimes under this vast sky. Suddenly the wind shifts. A foul, heavy scent cuts through the frost. It is not prey. It is the shadow of death, creeping toward the valley of the pack. You hear it before you see it. The terrified whine of a pup, foolishly wandering too far from the den. A massive dark shape rises from the tree line. The fire in your blood reignites. You forget the aching bones. You forget the milky eyes. You are the alpha, the eternal protector. You force yourself to stand. With a deafening snarl, you throw your battered body between the giant shadow and the tiny pup. You look death in the eye and bare your broken teeth. The impact is like a falling mountain. Claws tear into your fading coat. You do not feel the pain, only the desperate need to hold the freezing line. The giant retreats, intimidated by your sheer, reckless fury. The pup scampers away to safety. You stand victorious, but the entire world is spinning violently out of control. You do not try to stand again. The cold earth beneath you feels strangely soft, like a welcoming bed. The frantic pounding of your heart begins to slow. Your milky eyes stare blankly at the grey sky. The pain is gone. The bitter frost no longer bites your skin. Numbness spreads, a gentle, merciful blanket over your bones. Through the haze, familiar shapes return. The pack has tracked you. They do not run past this time. They step slowly, heads bowed low in the silent snow. The new alpha stands over you. He presses his massive, wet nose against your scarred cheek. A final exchange of scent. A silent promise that the bloodline survives. A tiny weight presses against your side. The pup you saved buries its fluffy head into your fading warmth, just as you once did in the dark den. The wind is entirely blocked out. Surrounded by the scent of your family, the freezing tundra disappears. You are no longer the alpha. You are just a tired soul. Then the song begins. A single, mournful note rises from the new leader. The rest join in, throwing their voices to the heavens. A massive, beautiful, deafening farewell. As their voices wash over you, the grey sky starts to melt. The icy edges of the world dissolve. The brutal frozen valley is left far, far behind. You close your eyes one last time. There is no fear. The pain of the scars, the weight of the years, they all just evaporate into the silence. In the deep quiet, the echo of the pack's song morphs. It changes shape, slowing down, settling deep into the earth. It becomes a heavy, familiar rhythm. Thud, thud. The rhythm wraps around you like a thick blanket. You are completely blind again, but you are not alone. You feel profoundly, incredibly safe. The scent of frost and blood is gone. It is replaced by the smell of damp earth and milk. There is no cold here. There is no hunger. You have run your race across the ice. You have sung your song to the stars. Now the Great Mother gathers you back into her massive, furry embrace. The howling fades. The biting wind melts away, leaving only the gentle, rhythmic heartbeat of the earth. Pulling you back into the warm, endless dark, exactly where you began. The howling fades. The biting wind melts away, leaving only the gentle, rhythmic heartbeat of the earth. Pulling you back into the warm, endless dark, exactly where you began.